Mariners 3, Mets 2. You've won 7 straight. It's June, and you trusted the process the entire time. Welcome to the Dom Skeen channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's minds. Game 61 in the books. Mariners 3 games over 500 for the first time all season. 6 hits total by both sides in this game. Paltry expected batting averages, 214 to 207. The Mariners pulled the run out when they need it most in the bottom of the 10th inning. And that's why you win. The game win probability all over the place, but that man right there, Cole Young, was all that mattered in the end. So getting over to what happened, I'm like, okay, we got to look at a few things for Cole Young here. Cole and Colt obviously was the duo tonight. Colt with the homer, Cole with the walk-off. And getting into the box score, it's like, okay, Naylor has one of the other Mariners hits. Cole Young went 2 for 3. He actually had half the Mariners hits today. So obviously good day for him. Homered yesterday. So hopefully, a sign of things to come, turning things around. My prediction, remember my season prediction for Cole Young was one of my kind of boldest season predictions that I had. And that was that Cole Young, as an everyday player, was going to post stats that you could not be upset about. 2 for 3, obviously today, but getting into the season stats like 250. I predicted that 250 was that cutoff line where he's going to hit above 250. Now, the other things I predicted, and we're on Fangraphs right here, is that Cole Young was going to have and this is based, you see all the projection systems for him pre-season, like Steamer, Zips, the Oopsie, the Bat, all that stuff, Fangraphs. They all had him playing about 82 games. He's already played 60 games. What they had him doing, right, is they all had him walking a little bit more, 9 to 9.5% of the time, striking out at 19% of the time. So far, obviously being, playing a whole lot more games than he was expected. He has, struck out 21% of the time. Still great by, major league metrics. Like, he's still a great player, but he's struck out a little bit more and he's walked a little bit less because he's trying to get that batting average going. And the batting average is higher than any of these projection systems had it for him. If as far as adjusting my prediction from preseason, I'm not quite ready to do that. Right, he's kind of right in the middle of all these, right? If you were to take the median would be like 99, right? This 99 and then the 101s, in terms of these projection systems, and he's at the 99 right now. Accumulated in WAR, 0.9 WAR, and defensively 1.9 WAR, minus 1.5 offensively. Not exactly what you wanted to see, but again, it's nothing out of bounds or out of the ordinary for what you saw here. And from here on out, really, what's happened has already happened, but what he's going to finish at with from here on out, it's like, I think that, the offensive minus 1.5 is going to go up. I think the defensive 1.9 is going to go up. So I think a 3-win season for Cole Young is very, very reasonable. And as far as the 10-20% that I had at the beginning of the season, I don't know if he's going to walk more than 10% of the time and strike out less than 20. I honestly do think he will still, if I had to say, like, he's in the middle of, he kind of had a long slump, a long gradual one where he's getting worse. It's since that Minnesota series, he was batting 286, where things have been kind of going down and down and down. And I'm not going to predict them to go, so, to stay right here where they're at after he's been going down so much. I'm just going to predict it to kind of go back to where it was. But yeah, 250, I think, is where he'll sit at still. I think 20 homers, it clearly looks like he's not attacking the homers like that. And steals wise, he's got 2 steals this year. Seeing him get to 10 steals and 20 homers, I won't even make that call until the summer months. Once we're in July, we can talk about that stuff. But right now, it's just not a big part of his game. He's just trying to go 1-0 at every pitch. And that's kind of what I like about him. Oh, and also looking at, like, pitch type stuff. That's some good stuff to look at. Yeah, here we go. Not so... he has improved so much hitting the fastball where he's almost a positive runs above average on the fastball. That would be amazing because the cutter he's improved, the splitter he's been right in line with where he was last year, which was good. The sinker he's improved by 2 runs. Slider hasn't improved on the slider so far this year. I wonder if that has to do with sitting fastball, sitting for other pitches, or if it has to do with just the way that was like he was so good last year that he was kind of hard to live up to. The curveball is better. The knuckle curve not so much. Again, small sample size there, and then the changeup not so much. But a whole lot of improvement on. I mean, all the fastballs, all types of fastballs, um, and that's really the story there. The breakers he has not improved on any of the breakers. It looks like. Yeah, he's literally improved in the fastballs and uh, you know taking a step back in the breakers category just a little bit based on these pitch values. And based on that, we can see that he's just, I mean, he's still a 22-year-old who's adapting to the big leagues, and he's still kind of learning. He's still getting better. So for him to be able to make that adjustment and just not have a massive weakness lying around with the fastball is really what makes the difference here. That's most of what I want to look at with Cole. Going back over to the game, Colt with his third home run in the bigs. He's also hitting 250 in the bigs right now with a little higher of an OPS. Obviously, hasn't been doing it as long, but Colt Emerson, like with his swing, the way that he swung the bat for this one. I mean, I might have to talk about this on the 1-0 pod tomorrow. I mean, there's so many. I'm probably gonna have to pick one of the walk-offs, right? Or some, yeah, some like pitching matchup, or like pitching, um, kind of piece of sequencing or something from Emerson and Luis, something like that, because that stuff's been so big. But gonna go over the homer here. Colts homer, 99.6, 25-degree launch angle, 368, absolute no doubter, 28 of 30 ballparks. The thing about it was actually watching that, like he kind of gets out in front of it, and does a little bit of like it's a level swing, and yet he gets the power as if he were to uppercut it and extend his arms more and like just swing it like you're swinging a driver almost. Which the key when you're swinging a baseball bat or a golf club, whatever it is to keep your hands close to your body, not let them get extended and make it look, if it feels like you're doing what it looks like Ken Griffey Jr. is doing, then you're doing it wrong. With Colt Emerson, it actually does look like he's doing what Ken Griffey Jr. did. Like he's somehow, but he also looks like he's hitting, like he's keeping his bat level. He looks like he's in the positions that Ken Griffey Jr. would uppercut his swing from, and it's partly that his body gets way out here, and it's a really tricky posture to get into. It's what makes him such a good prospect. But we talk about Colt Emerson not having maybe the speed or the power of other prospects. I think it's important to recognize that the athleticism is still there in spades. It's just might look a little bit different and might be a different pathway to getting that same result. So with Colt, like I see something where the whip around in his swing is not devoid of power. There was a whole lot there, and he's accessing it quite easily. So it might end up playing way, way up. That's just a little nugget of a bold prediction. Mitch Garver hard hit as well. The Mariners only 6 hard hits on the night. There's been some really weird games with a lot of hard hits lately, and some with almost none to speak of. Emerson Hancock, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 2 hits, 7 strikeouts, no walks, and both homers were both runs were on solo homers. So, I mean, 2.8 ERA still in the year. He is looking every bit like an American League All-Star. And spoiler, when I do the All-Stars with Don tomorrow morning on the 1-0 pod, do our kind of predicting the All-Star teams, Emerson Hancock is making my AL team over some of the other Mariners pitchers. They'll probably have 1 or 2 more on there, but you'll have to tune in to find out. The Mariners offense tonight gets what they need to get done. It was not by any means the most impressive night you've ever seen. Good number of strikeouts in here as well. But the team is incredibly hot. This team is absolutely on fire. They're as hot as they've been all year. And the signs are there. Julio working the at-bats. Naylor doing so has to come out of the game. And Victor Robles goes in. Then they shift Patrick Wisdom to first. That makes sense and stuff. But yeah, just I'm really happy with where the lineup's at. I don't want to say too much. Cole Young is the main one we look at today, and then Cole. Everybody else kind of just it's not broken, so certainly don't need to go fix it. Hey man, we've won 7 games in a row. You've been a great piece of this, but let's go fix your swing right now. Nah, let's keep it exactly how it is. Austin Warren starts for the Mets, 1 swinging strike on 19 pitches, 97.5 average EV. Mariners gave the Mariners a really good chance early on, but it was Sean Manaea where the Mariners start to really get moving. He only allowed an 80.1 average EV, had 7 swinging strikes, so he presented a whole lot more resistance than Austin Warren in the StatCast, at least. Brooks Raley, tough lefty. They have 2 swinging strikes on 19 pitches and 87.9 average EV. He's pretty good. And Luke Weaver. You're seeing quite a few of their leverage relievers here. And you even see Devin Williams. 6 swinging strikes on 18 pitches. That was crazy, wasn't it? This guy's still good. I know that his stats have been bad for the last 2 years, but the underlying numbers have always been there for Devin Williams. He just sometimes loses it a little bit with the airbender changeup. AJ Minter comes in and gives up the game-winning hit to Cole Young. And it was 65.3 miles an hour of average exit velocity. That's a Cole Young hit if I've ever seen one. 2 swinging strikes on 9 pitches, though. And then now on to the good stuff. Emerson Hancock, 8 swinging strikes on 91 pitches, 92.4 average EV. Looking at Emerson Hancock, it's like he doesn't always get the swinging strike numbers that you think he would get for how many strikeouts he's getting. But he also never walks anybody. The strike rate only 65%. That's good. That's solid. That's not elite. 66, 67 would be elite. And wasn't even getting only 28% chase, so not quite as much chase tonight. But the pitches that needed to do it were doing it. The sinker, 44%. Curveball, 40%, even though he only uses it a couple times. Like this, the pitches that he was aiming to get whiffs on, he was. And it's funny, he had whiffs on everything, but he completely spread them out across the arsenal. He didn't really have one single main whiff pitch, and yet he got results like this that would tell you that he did. That is so impressive, and that's part of why this guy deserves to be an all-star. 7 hard hits on 91 pitches, nothing to freak out about. Also, the pitch counts were in shape by inning. I said this game would be 6-1. It wasn't. I said that Rob Refsnyder would do well offensively. He didn't. But I also said that Sean Manaea was going to have 2 20-pitch innings. He did not have multiple 20-pitch innings. He had 1 19-pitch inning. But hey, I like that prediction when I made it, and I'll stand by the process that went into it. If we were going to actually scout this Mets team, I think you did a pretty good job of it. You stayed away from the top guys. You managed to get Juan Soto out a couple times, who's been playing like a man possessed right now. And you're expecting that there's a big homer from like Juan Soto, or Bo Bichette's going to go to get a multi-hit game. But you kept the top of the lineup. The first 3 in the order for the Mets, 0 for 12, 3 strikeouts, 5 hard hits. So you get that batted ball luck with 5 hard hits, none of them turning into hits, and that's part of how you keep it close. And also, the fact that the Mets only had 2 hits too. So Emerson Hancock, I make it through all this, right? It's like I forgot, but I didn't forget how I felt in that 4th, 5th inning. Like that 5th inning, he was on the way. He was on his way to a perfect game when when this was going on. So those homers were the only thing between the Mets and a perfect game. They walked once no, they didn't walk once. No, sorry, I don't know what I'm looking at. The Mets were 2 solo homers away from getting perfect game tonight. Emerson Hancock, I know Cole Young is going on the cover because, the hot offensive play and stuff, but come on. Emerson Hancock, 2 solo homers from a no-hitter. And the pitch count would have stayed in shape as well. Like he would have been on his way to a perfect game. I mean, it's so hard to do. No guarantees, never know. But I mean, and looking at this, Gabe Spire. I cannot go without talking about Gabe Spire. Um, and obviously, I mean, the entire bullpen. Nobody allows a single walk or hit. I mean, you're just spoiled in Seattle with the bullpen. I know the screen's going all over the place, but I mean, Jose Ferrer, Matt Brash, Andres Munoz, Gabe Spire. You get 4 innings. You get 5 strikeouts. You get no hits, no runs, no errors, no walks. You get 3 hard hits on 58 pitches. 3 hard hits on 58 pitches. 5 strikeouts, 4 innings, no damage. I almost just want to like hold a party, in celebration. Can we hold a party for the Mariners bullpen doing what they do like every single night? It deserves it. But at the same time, it's like it's business as usual. I mean, watching the Rockies and the Angels, play to a 9-8, Rockies win that ends with a ball that probably a play that should have been called safe at first base, being called out, and the Rockies take the win. Now that was ugly baseball. If you're on the MLB TV like myself and you want something, well, our game was on commercials. You throw that on the multi-view and you try to go to it and watch it for a couple pitches here and there when the Mariners are on commercial, and you end up being like, what is this? Like these teams, they're worried about things that the Mariners haven't worried about in weeks. I mean, the Mariners obviously going to worry about these things plenty more this season. There's 100 games left. There's literally 101 games left as of today. But there's no way that, I mean, this is where you see the team start to really separate in June. I almost want to call it like Separation June. That's going to be the comment question of the day, though. If we were to name June a month in terms of what it means to the baseball calendar, the MLB calendar, what would we name it? My submission is going to be Separation June because everybody separates, from the pack. The early season flukes kind of come back down to earth and eventually, settle at the bottom. The early season fluke losing teams or whatever you want to call it rise up to where they should be, and you start to see the standings looking more like you expect by the time June rolls around, usually. So guys are normalizing. We're here for it. Gabe Spire back off injury, throwing 3 swinging strikes, 21 pitches, 94.5 average EV. So none of this is going to tell you how good he was, but the 2 Ks that he got, one on Juan Soto and one on, I can't even remember who it was, but yeah. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we're going to have a new episode of the 1-0 podcast, myself and Don Dishes. We've got a whole lot to do over there. Talk a little bit of college baseball and MLB draft. Going to talk a little bit about the Eugene Regional that the Washington State Cougars, Oregon State Beavers, Oregon Ducks just won. And we're going to talk a whole lot about the All-Star break, the All-Star game. Voting should be starting this week. I think that's what we got on the docket. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, as long as you go 1-0 every pitch, stay stoic, give all glory to God, you can't lose. I'll be back then. Go Ems.